Hey guys, Lance from MTG Lance Channel doing another set review with you guys. Sorry, the first one kind of got postponed a little bit, but that's how it goes sometimes. Stuff comes up. There's one mythic. I think there's only one mythic. I could be wrong, but that's Flame Red Phoenix. 2 red, 2 any for a 3/3. Flying tribute 2, and when it enters the battlefield, if tribute wasn't paying, it gains haste. When this creature dies, return it to its owner's hand. This is actually really good, and I think this actually is good and constructed. If mono red becomes a thing, especially with like Searing Blood and other stuff, it's very powerful. Because what this does is if they pay the tribute, you have a 4/4 for 5 flyer. Yes, it doesn't go against Desecration Demon, and that kind of is a problem, but it's better than it's just a 4/4 flyer for it's a 5 it's a 5/5 for 4 mana flyer. And if they do pay it and they're like, no, I don't want this thing to be out of controlly big because I can't take 5 flying, but I can take 2 3s, or you know what I mean, like if they can take the 3, or let's say they're at 6 life. No. Let's say they're at 5. They're not gonna want to have this thing. They'd rather take 3 on their turn and let this thing come back and back because they don't want to die right away. The thing is, though, is this just this makes a really hard decision for your opponent. Either they have you have a 5/5 flyer, or you have a creature that's just gonna constantly keep coming back and be still a problem unless you let that thing go big. So moving on is, let's start at the bottom down here, is Flated Conflagration. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. 3 reds, 1 any. This is one of my very first spoilers. Back when it was in Spanish, when it first came out and was a promo card. Now they have the final art and the final text, and when it deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker, it's your turn, scry 2. I actually think this is better than any of the other mana abilities where you get to scry 2 plus an ability and the scry 2 is on your turn, which isn't really a mechanic, but there's 5 cards like this, and I think this is the best of them because this deals with most of the planeswalkers out there, including Elizabeth, even after priority. Plus, you get the scry 2. And yes, it's only things on the board, but in control matchups, if they tap out for like an Elizabeth, you can destroy it pretty quickly, and it's at instant speed. So if you're top decking mode, this really helps. I wish it said or player, because this card would be freaking insane to be a 4 of in a mono red deck, especially with some of the other cards in here. It would be crazy. Next, we're going to talk about which one of these. We're going to talk about Forged Stoker Dragon. 2 red, 4 any for a 5/4 flyer flying. So that's pretty good. You get 6 in okay bases, but deals 1 damage to target creature. That creature can't block. This combat activate this ability only if it is attacking. So this is also putting into your mana. You can get rid of all the smaller stuff that's still on the board and limited, and also just makes it so their flyers can't block. I mean, they could have a huge flyer, but you swing in when you're attacking on the stack, do 1 to it, and deal the damage. They don't even get to declare blockers because it can't block this combat. This is very good. This is a bomb in limited. Very good in a mono red deck because of the 2 red. Good 6-drop. I mean, it gets there. So moving on to Hellhide Spirit Bender. 1 red, 3 Andy for a 3/4. So right there, it's a 4 for a 3/4, which isn't bad. Whenever it becomes untapped or inspired, pay 1 red, 1 any, and if you do, make a copy of another target creature, except it's an enchantment in addition to a type, gain haste, and exile it at the beginning of the next end step. This is very interesting. Standard, I really don't know if it has any constructed play, but it's very, very interesting. They have a Aetherling. You get an Aetherling. And I mean, yeah, you can still do stuff with it, or Desecration Demon would be the best thing to do. Just swing for 6. But they usually will either have a untapped one or a tapped one, and if they take 6, that's a huge chunk of their life going out of them. So yeah, this is very good and limited. If they have their bomb out, this is just like crazy because you just take their bomb. Next is Oracle of the Bones, 2 any, 2 red for a 3/1. So it is kind of weak here at 3/1. It can easily be taken care of if you don't pay its tribute, haste, and tribute 2. So it can be a 5/3, which is easily removed actually, which is kind of depressing. But oh well. And when it enters the battlefield, if it wasn't paid, you can cast an instant or sorcery card from your hand without paying its mana cost. I really think this card could end up being broken somehow. Even though it's turn 4 before anything happens, if you have, like, let me think here, what is it called? Omniscience, and then the other blue card that lets you search your entire library, put it on the field except the last card. Well, put it into your hand. Plus, you can play anything, cast any spell without paying its mana cost in your hand. Could be in turn 4 winner. It'd just be really, really interesting, guys. I don't know. I think that could be happen, but I really don't. It just have to be like the perfect hand of 4 mana, getting this and hopefully letting it be a 3/1 and just be like, nope, I'm done. You quit. You need to quit. But I don't know. We'll see. It'd be very, very interesting. That's a thing, but that means if they realize you're playing that, they'll just let it be a 5/2, and that is okay. Well, 5/3, but still, that's easily removed and not really a problem. So that's all right. I mean, limited, it's very good because it's a 5/2 for 4, and it doesn't matter. You're just gonna hit. Well, I keep saying, yeah, it's a 5/3 for 4, which is very good. In limited. Not really a bomb, but very powerful. And if it's not paid, you get to play any one of your spells, which could be a bomb, really, if you have it. A really bad. Well, even this could just be brought in turn 4. 5/4 on turn 4 flying is very, very good. Whims of Fates, 1 red, 5 any, starting with you. Each player separates all permanents he or she controls into 3 piles. Then each player chooses one of his or her piles at random and sacrifices those permanents. This is interesting. I really don't think this is strong in any format. I just really think it's a fun card just to mess around with. Oh yeah, I choose 3 piles and you choose 3 piles. And then we just destroy one at random. Hope it's not the one we put all our stuff in, or if we did separate it equally, the one we want. Satyr, Fire Dancer, 1 red, 180 for a 1/1. It's kind of weaker there, but whenever an instant or sorcery spell you control deals common damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target creature that player controls. So, for say you lightning strike them for 3, then you also get a lightning strike for free against one of their creatures. And this is very good, but it's very fun and limited, I bet. I mean, if you're going for burn, what other burn spells do we got in here? That Scorching Blood. I mean, you can get rid of one of their creatures, do 3 to its controller. If it's like turn 2, let's say. And, well, turn 3 is going to be probably, you play this on Satyr Fire Dancer on turn 2. Turn 3, you play Searing Blood on a creature. And if you're on the play, this works, usually, if they don't have anything crazy. But what happens here is you do 2 damage to the creature. Let's say it kills the creature, right? Okay, and then it deals 3 to the controller. When it deals combat damage to an opponent, deals that much to target creature that player controls. Meaning, okay, I'll burn 2 to you, do 3 to you, and do 3 to your creature, completely board wipe you for 4 mana. So that's an interesting combination there you could do. It's very, I don't know. I really don't see a home for it just yet, but you never know. It could be really good. Everflame Heliodon, 1 red, 1 any for a 1/1, and it's just a dragon. Just what I mean by that is a +0/+ until end of turn. That's what just happened? Okay, moving on to Searing Blood. Sorry about that freeze there for a second. 2 red, just 2 to a creature, and do to its controller if it dies. I really think this is good, very good and limited if you're running mono red, because this is a shock and a lightning strike in 1, meaning normally 3 for 2. Very good, especially at instant speed. It's very good early turn to remove their board a lot quicker than usual, and then also do 3 to them. 3 for a 2/1 haste, and you put inspired 3/1. So this is all right. Limited, it's not so good. I mean, you can dump out mana in the beginning of your turn if you don't have anything with it. So it's all right. I mean, it's not insane, but it's better than most of the other ones. Come on, scroll up. Hold on a second here, guys. Moving on, Pinnacle of Rage, 2 red, 4 any, and deals 2 damage to each of 2 target creatures and or players. This is alright, not very good in any format. I don't think you'll see very much limited play or constructed, because it's just not very good. Moving on to one of the red heroics. 1 red for any for a 3/2. Whenever you cast a spell that targets him, gain control of another target creature till end of turn, and it gains haste. Very good and limited. Constructed 2 weak as a 3/2 for 5. You're kind of dumping out your mana for an easy burn spell that Searing Blood takes care of. But, I mean, in limited, it's very fun as a 5-drop because then you take control of a target creature. So that's very fun. I mean, you just give me your creature. Give me it. Next is Thunderous Might. 1 red, 1 any. Enchanted creature gets plus X plus 0 until end turn, where X is your devotion to red. In a green-black devotion deck, this would be insane, because especially with the god, because then, oh, my devotion to red is, what, 5, let's say. Okay, you have 5 devotion to red. It's plus 5 plus 0 until end turn. You double the 5 with its additional, so let's say it's just a 6/6, right? It was just ordinary 1/1. Gets plus 5 plus 0, and then now it's going to get 6/6, so it'll be a 12/6 very quickly. 12/6 is very kind of scary, actually, thinking about it. So that's very good interaction there. Next is a really weird Izzet card. 3 any for 2/2 haste, and then you can scribe 1 for 2 and tap it. So this is a mana dumper, just to look at your top of your cards, and it's all right, and it's limited. Standard, I really don't see much play because Izzet isn't really getting played very much, except rogue decks and stuff like that. Next is Thunder Brute. It's a Cyclops, 4 any and 2 red actually. So it's 6 for a 5/5 Trampler, attribute 3, and if it wasn't paid, it gains haste until end turn. So what it is on turn 6, it's 5/5 Trampler, or it is a 5, 6, 7, 8. It's an 8/8 for 6. I'd rather just give it haste. Get it over with. Next, we're going to talk about Lightning Volley. 3 any, 1 red. Till end of turn, creature you control gain tap and do 1 damage to target creature or player. I really think this is good because limited only, really. But you could tap all your creatures. Let's say you have 5 creatures out. You tap, you can do 5 to them at the end of their turn and just untap your stuff. So I think this is good and limited. If you usually have a board state really aggro, and this is a late game helper, but besides that, really not playable. Archetype of and this is really good. This helps out those really aggressive decks. Very good and limited because creatures you control have trample. So for 3, you get a 3/2 trampler, and everything else has trample, and their creatures lose trample. Very, very strong. Helps with that mono red devotion deck, giving you that too, and then giving everything trample. Just what red needed, right? Thank you, Color Pie. 3 red, 1 any, deal standard damage to target creature or player, and then scry 1. I mean, it's a lightning bolt with an extra red just to give you that scry, so it's alright. 4 for a 5/2 here. Good, and it's alright in limited, but it's gonna die, but you just want to use it to remove stuff. 3 any. When it's untapped, it gets plus 2, plus 3 until end of turn, so it'll be a 5/3 on turn 4. Oh, no, a 4/3 on turn 4. So that's alright. It's a good middle ground for red decks and constructed. Next is Reckless Reveler. 1 red, 1 any for a 2/1 and sacrifice to destroy target artifact. Not very good. Not even good as limited. It's a sideboard card, really. That's it. Rise to Challenge. 1 red, 1 any. Target creature gets plus 2, plus 0 and gains first strike until end turn. I don't really see this sitting constructed, but very interesting and limited as a combat trick. Very fun. 1 red, run any, and deals 1 damage to each creature your opponent controls, and then scry 1. Very good against elf decks or really mana ram decks on turn 2. Just, oh yeah, your Elvis Mystics, get rid of them. Don't need them. Do 1 damage to all of them, and I'll scry that one. Very good and limited. Not really constructed playable. Fall of the Hammer, 1 red, 1 any. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to another creature. Fight without having the consequence of getting your creature hurt. Very good. If mono red becomes a thing, this will be played and constructed, and very good and limited, because it's technically removal in a way. 1 any, 2 any, 1 red. Enchanted creature gets plus 2, and has pay 3, and target creature can't block this turn. So very good, and you can mana dump into it. So it's good plus 2 for 3 mana, so very good and limited. I don't think I'm going to be able to talk about all of them, but go check out the website. Red has a lot more of interesting stuff. I still think white has all the better stuff except the Phoenix here. And Searing Blood. Searing Blood's very good. Actually, a lot of these cards are good, but not compared to white. Let me know which one do you think is the best constructed playable and which is the best limited playable. Hope you guys enjoyed. Green will be next, and then from there we'll talk about everything else, is the multicolor spells and planeswalkers and lands. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.